How many more of us have to die? How many more vigils? How many balloons have to be released into the air to let us know that we cannot win this violent game? Every parent cry when one of us die.
Man, they be wildin' in these streets. Yeah, they be wildin'. Bullets keep on flying in these streets. Yeah, they be flying. Bodies keep on piling in these streets. They keep on piling. All we hear is sirens in these streets. You hear the sirens. Mamas keep on crying in these streets. Mamas keep crying. Children keep on dying in these streets. Children keep dying. Really need Messiah in these streets. We need Jesus. We gotta stop the violence in these streets.
Yo. Just another day, another bloody murder. These shooters getting out of hand, bruh, toss the burner. Now they facing life cause they took another's. And God won't forgive us if we don't forgive our brothers. We'd rather kill each other instead of kill our pride. We'd rather lose our freedom instead of let it slide. And I apologize for contributing to the problem, but I'm back pushing peace and murdering beats with the squadron.
Hard avoiding drama, being smarter when you used to trauma. Now it's way too common saying R.I.P. when calling people's names. The way the murder rate increasing, it makes Steve.
How's everyone doing? Welcome to Focus Media. I'm Dr. Lee, right now in my suite at 9612 East ColFax Avenue, a barber salon. We would like to discuss today the community that's from Havana to Chester in A-Town Aurora, downtown Aurora, and how the COVID is affecting right now certain businesses. Not just the barbershop, that's my trade. Not just the business development group, which is a certain organization I'm a part of, Aurora ColFax Association, Business Development, and other entities that we use, the G7 Commission, so forth, so on. What I see that is, let me go with, in hopefully the right direction. What I see that could be beneficial with this COVID, outside of the outside use of space for business to continue, such as the breweries, such as the restaurants, which is a big focus I notice in Denver and Northwest Aurora, is being able to have locations that everyone can work together again as a community and neighborhood. We do have plans to change some things. I apologize, I won't be able to discuss that today, but we might come back at another point. But we like to look at how we can help one another. One of the greatest ways to help one another is constantly communicate. It's a lack of communication. It might be due to, by it being so diverse in this community, with, as termed refugees and immigrants, the African American, Caucasian, Asian, which would be the Korean and Chinese and so many others, Vietnam, that own and lease and rent these locations. There's no group communication. You have very few people that know one of each other. And we have to get back to that. We have to get back to the neighborhoods. We have to get back to how we can work together to improve our business. And that, in my opinion, is through ingest suggestion. If a customer come into the barbershop, where would I go eat at? I should be able to suggest, go to the hamburger place, so-and-so up the street, or go to the chicken restaurant to have a fabulous breast fillet. That communication between businesses and transparency of networking and allowing customers to transfer back and forth in a situation like this that is critical is one of the reasons that I believe we're hurting. I believe in reaching out to my neighbor, but there's so many others that don't feel the same way. I've witnessed that in the time I've been in this parameter of downtown Aurora. I would like to definitely change that. I do believe quite a few of us have made a change to approach generously ways to help one another, continue before COVID and now with COVID. So we like to just try at the best of our ability to focus on how we can integrate minority suggestion in a collective manner. Now, best way to improve economically is shared influence without having the foolishness involved, such as the drug use, even in the marijuana industry being now recreational legal. Some people believe they can do it in their businesses, which is just hilarious to me. We need to stop that. It's not professional. We need to look at certain habits that have to be changed and to be held accountable and responsible. We as business owners need to go to other business owners and suggest straighten it up. This is why individuals such as the county and city don't want to be involved. If I'm going to help you financially, if I'm going to endorse you economically, you still have to represent yourself properly, because you represent now the funds that I'm giving you to hopefully push you forward to success. The jealousy, the malice action that you see, which we know probably stems strongly with mental illness, we have to change that outcome. We have to start looking at how we can work together to influence more of a positive outcome. And we do have suggestions for that. We do have ideas. When I speak of we, I'm speaking of the individuals, male, female, a very diverse group that I work with, and hopefully to include others that want to work with us. Reach out and see the difference. We cleaned up together as a collective of business owners, Chair Park, which is right off ColFax in Dallas, infiltrated and influx with drug activity. We went in there with suggestion of conversation, not incarceration, involvement of not getting anyone arrested, because a lot of these individuals take those drugs because they have mental illness issues.
Man, went out, warmed up. And she said, yes, he played with the Broncos, but Mr. Mingo is just like you. He needs to get his GED to move on or whatever. And I want you to treat him the same way as you've been treated. That's all we want is a chance. If you're better than us, prove it. If you're better than the black man, prove it.
Sometimes you just, sit back and observe. You gotta observe what's going on. Indeed. You gotta make that change.
It's your time. Spotlight is on you. Indeed.
It's Friday night what? It's Friday night what? It's Friday night what? It's Friday night what? It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night what? It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night what? It's Friday night spotlight.
What?
Friday Night Spotlight is brought to you by FOCUZDOTMEDIA, also the Focus TV One Network, sponsored by Healthy Lifetime Fitness. Get fit the right way, mind, body, and soul.
Get out crisis units, get out crisis officials, not officers, and don't incarcerate these individuals. And also reach to them and say, what do you need? Do you need food? Do you need clothes? We don't want you out there homeless. And if you choose to be homeless, how can we help you to transcend out of that condition that we know, and they even know, a lot of them, that's mental illness. So these are things that I think we need to address in the community in order to improve. You see a lot of things if you go on dating, such as the workforce. They use a lot of those people have habits and mental illness. A lot of them are immigrants. They come from places where they really are not legal or even have visas. How can we change that? And the dynamics that are in plan, that's online, that Aurora has, I don't think it's a base transcending line, meaning they're not in the footworks of it. They got others that they send out, but those that are making those choices and decisions are not in the footwork. So by it even being election time, and a lot of people, I'm not going to vote. Please go vote. You got people that fought, bled, got maimed, and are no longer living. So you can have a vote, a voice. I want to believe in voting. It does not make sense not to vote. When you don't vote, some people don't want to listen to you when you have something to say. It's just that simple, that easy. So how can we change that mindset? Let me say this to you. It not only influx in the censors of taxes that are paid through businesses to improve communities and residential. But there's so many different options of communication through voting outside of just signing a circle. You get to know who has a likeness like you when it comes time to vote. So we look at where we're going as a community. We have to focus on the betterment of it. It's not hard. It's not stressed out. I don't think it's a longevity situation. But I do believe that with certain suggestions that we will later on at a later date put up once we get the permission to, we're going to move forward with Teflon and the Focus Media magazine, Focus Media magazine, in order to influence positive change, collective change, integrative change, and diversity change, not just in Colorado, but hopefully over the whole United States and globally. This is the market and target that I'm in great applause of this platform doing. It's a magnificent platform, and I appreciate the platform. It's so informational. There's things from the youth to mid-age to the senior age that we all can listen to and learn from and hopefully be a part of and participate in to develop and go further as a community collectively. Not just one neighborhood, but a whole county, a whole town, a whole city. So I hope I've said some things to influence. I hope I've given some information that you might not know about. You be able to have contact information that will be supplied to you through this platform to get in contact with Focus Media, as well as myself and others, in order to make things progress positively. We don't care about the negative, but if you're negative, please say something too, because we didn't know what not to do. We thank you. We appreciate you. And this is part 1, and we'll go to part 2 soon. Bless you all.
destroyed my life, left me to cry, I just wanna die.
Man, it was the coldest day of my life. The day
It's your time. Spotlight's on you. Yeah. Indeed.
It's Friday night what? It's Friday night what? It's Friday night what? It's Friday night what? It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night what? It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night spotlight. It's Friday night what? It's Friday night spotlight.
Friday night spotlight. Lifetime Fitness, get fit the right way, mind, body, and soul.
All right, let's discuss what's happening alongside Aurora and Denver, Colorado, and the rest of the country. The youth right now are not training or being trained by the proper people. The influence of YouTube and Google and internet access has brought these young people, in my opinion, to a mindset of stallment. They are in a great, matter of fact, I'm going to put it in these words. Sidney Poitier had a great line, and I think it was a piece of action. He said, "You think like masturbation," meaning you get nothing accomplished, you just feel good. Let's get back to the point of trying to see how we can touch these young people intellectually, because it's lost. I can even bear witness with one of my sons. Out of all the sons I have one that's, we praying for him. Very intelligent, but everybody want right now McDonald's microwavable substance. They go out here emotionally due to soybean, Enfamil, Similac, and you have individuals that are now affected. This is scientifically, you can go look it up. These children's whole chemical stance. Nowhere in the world a young man should have that much estrogen type of mentality in any type of conversation. You want to, they address each other with guns now. No one wants to fight. Young man tells me, well, we fight, we going to jail anyway, so I might as well shoot him. This is the mindset you're dealing with, a GTA, Grand Theft Auto mentality. They believe they can get shot and get back up. It don't work like that. You're going to boo-boo and pee on yourself and cry. You're going to call on God, Jesus, Jehovah, or somebody if you get shot, because that thing hurt. So let's start reanalyzing the youth. Let's start getting back to where we did programs, conversations with these podcasts. Let's utilize them to say we're going to make some jokes and give out great messages, because what we have right now is the influence of foolishness. Young people, especially in our community, are killing themselves. Not when you kill somebody, you're killing yourself. That's how they work. To where ain't going to be nobody left. There's nowhere in the world the numbers in Chicago should be where they at. Nowhere in the world the numbers in Denver, Colorado should be where they at. Nowhere in the world in Tuckbuck, Iowa, which is actually Clinton, Iowa, and places like that, the numbers should be where they at. Des Moines, Iowa, and these places that are nice places. Chicago's a beautiful city. New York's a beautiful place. That you have a death toll of young African American, as a term, men and women, getting killed, not just by each other, but by the police, treated like trash and dogs. George Floyd, the older brother, you put your whole knee on his neck and you on probation. Nowhere in the world that should even happen. And how you stop that is by once again, communicating and getting together. The violence has to stop. The way to stop it is through communication. The way to stop it is getting from off and behind the phone and getting right in somebody's face. Even with the COVID, put a mask on, go talk to somebody. Go sit in somebody's backyard. Let's go back to that. Remember them backyard parties? Remember them red light parties where everybody had a good time and didn't nobody get hurt, nobody got shot or stabbed? Most of it might be as a fight in the alley between Tom and Big Joe. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to, even with the COVID situation, of being upon one another in a positive way. Let's get out of the foolishness of you on Facebook or Instagram talking about somebody and they take it serious. It's nowhere in the world that the most of violence is over a female that don't nobody know. You don't know how this girl look. Just she used them little emojis, and the little girl, y'all young ladies, y'all know how this boy look. You don't know nothing about him. Y'all talking on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and everybody got a problem. Mad at the world. And the most technically advanced generation in history is the millennials and beyond right now, this generation here. And they also the most violent. It's sad. Nowhere in the world the violence should be where it's at with that type of intelligence. Let's switch it around. I'm not saying that we don't have positive young people graduating from college. We don't have individuals that's activating activism, being civil. I'm talking about those that are not. I'm speaking of those that make rap songs about foolishness, stuff they're not even doing. You don't even see this stuff in TV. You ain't killed that many folks and walking around ain't dead in nobody's neighborhood. Associating, affiliated with made up new gangs. You ain't got organizations no more. foolishness. You want to try your best to say, oh, I learned that from so-and-so. So-and-so wasn't even around you. You on Facebook, that's what you learned. When you watching Minister Society, Paid in Full, and everything that's depicted in those pictures was made from the 70s and 80s. This is 2020. So you're reaching back. Let's say if you're 2015, you might have been 20 years old. You're reaching back almost 40, 50 years ago to what happened that you can't duplicate in this day and time because of technology. Everybody want to be a drug dealer. Drug dealers is over. Drugs are legal now, fools. I'm going to say it to you like that. If you're doing anything, I'm talking to the fools now. Because I don't want you to be a fool that long. I want you to try to use a little bit of that intelligence that socially you are listed as having the most intelligent generation in history. You have the ability to take an app and make millions of dollars. And you choose to go out here and hurt somebody from talking on Facebook and Instagram. You tell about me, you gonna do that to me. I don't care what he say, I'm gonna get him. And you got all these hypers hyping you up, and you go out and shoot somebody. They dead, and then you go into jail for the rest of your life. Because guess what? You can put it on Facebook. That's premeditated murder. Or Instagram or Twitter or whatever. You go behind that wall. Y'all okay with the activities of homosexuality and lesbianism because it's cool. Stop being cool. That ain't cool. It's okay to shoot somebody and take their life, and you don't care about nobody. I don't care about nobody, but this your bro. That's my bro. This my soul. That's my bestie. How you don't care about somebody and you claim the folks that you care about? That don't make sense. You can't care for one person, don't care for many. That's a sign of delusion. Let's not be delusional, people. Let's try to wake up just a little bit. Let's try to get refocused on some things that are transcend and transform. You have the ability to touch the world. You have the ability to be in the United States of America and talk to folks in Chinese, and you don't even know how to speak Chinese. Over there in China. Yeah, I said it country, because I'm a little country, y'all. From Chicago, I'm sorry. That's how we talk. But I want you to understand that we can do some things different. And you are, at your time, you are the greatest. You have the ability to influence because you touch everybody. So go in that backyard with your homegirl or homeboy, your bro or your sis. Talk about something positive, face-to-face, scarf on, mask on, t-shirt on, don't care what you wear. Start getting around each other in personal contact. Appreciate some things. Don't nobody have to buy you McDonald's or Little Caesar or Big Macs. Go home and learn how to cook some food, man. Put some macaroni and cheese in the pot and boil it. Get some real cheese put on there. Stop being a microwavable generation in every aspect. Be patient. It's coming. You want to be grown so bad, so fast, and you lose time. That's the most expensive loss in the world, is to lose time. Let's not do that. We want to address those issues that you might have. You feeling lonely? That's a sign of depression. You feel like don't nobody love you? That's a sign of depression. Let's address where it's at. These are light forms of mental illness. That don't mean you're crazy. It just means you need to talk to somebody. And if you need to talk to somebody, please reach out to FOCUZDOTMEDIA. We'll gladly talk to you for about 2 seconds. This is what I'm going to say to you if you talk to me. Stop being. Get up, go around the corner and hug somebody. And if somebody really don't love you, we will talk to you for real. Somebody really don't like you, trust me, I know. If your mama or daddy beating you out, trust me, I know when you tell me. When you start gargling in your throat, oh, they beating you for real. They been slapping you. I can tell where you talk. You've been smoking cigars and crack with your daddy. I can tell. Crystal meth with your mama. I can tell. If your teeth is blue, and all kind of signals and signs. Your fingers swole. I know what's going on. But we want to stop that. You are not in 1960. You don't need to get high because it's legal, but you out there selling drugs. I ain't never known a drug dealer sell drugs. And use it too. That's against the rules of the game. Y'all got to change your mentality. You want to rap about something? Rap about something how you made $1 million from telling somebody something positive to do. Not about how I shot somebody and got 1 million views and you ain't got nothing but $1,000 because you don't know how to navigate your economical financial stance. That's what I want to address. So that'll stop the violence. You want to be financially happy? Stop being lazy. You don't get nothing from waking up. That ain't how that work. That ain't the game. Well, I want to wake up. They deserve to give me 1 million because I'm smart. It's 1 million more folks that's smarter than you. What you gonna do that's different? How you gonna stand out? How you gonna accomplish goals? Did you write it down? Every person of success writes down something, rather be a diary or a journal. I'm talking to the young men and the young women. You want to quick to tell somebody how you want to mess them up and hurt them and stump on them and kill them. You know, and I'm only talking to the fools. I'm not talking to the people that doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm talking to these young folks out here that don't understand how important time is.
Lifestyle, everybody in the soul, fitness, lifestyle fitness, that's right, lifestyle fitness, healthy, get it the right way, lifestyle, mind, body, and soul, fitness, only on the FOCUZDOTMEDIA YouTube channel.
Get it the right way, mind, body, and soul.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lee Williams. You can reach me at 720-404-8053. Get in contact with a barber salon. We do COVID safe, non-contact, but contactable services. Once again, I'm Dr. Lee Williams. It's always a pleasure. Thank you. So what we'd like to discuss right now is what's happening not only in Philadelphia, but throughout the country. Many individuals do not believe in wearing masks. Let me say this to you. If you like your freedoms, always believe in Tuskegee, always believe in what happened in North Carolina, Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Chicago Project, I do believe it's Manhattan as well. It's happening right now in prior date. So we're going from after 1867 of slavery to 2020, almost 2021. When you don't wear a mask, it's a public health risk. You are putting not only yourself, but many others in jeopardy. You are allowing those that have authoritative power to incarcerate you on a mass level. You will be going to a state of martial law. You will be going to where individuals can intrude on what you believe your privacies are. This is not just a good conversation. This is not just, it's conspiracy theories, none of those things. If you look at what the law is, constitutional, as well as what you have the right, yes, not to wear a mask, but when you are public health risk, you no longer have those rights. When you endanger more than one individual because you don't want to do something like wash your hands or put a mask on, just think of the situation of HIV. Think of AIDS. Right now, if someone knowingly gives someone HIV or AIDS, what happens is that you can go to jail for the rest of your life. You've committed a crime. That's the point you get into with the mask. The point of not wearing a mask will put you right at the point of crime, criminal activities. Please, everyone, listen. We don't want to have a situation. They didn't just lock Philadelphia down over shooting. Portland, Oregon, they got police quitting. So when police start quitting, next comes a highway patrol, the state patrol, the National Guard, because when police not there, someone has to enforce certain laws on the books for those counties, cities, and states. Don't put yourself in that situation. We had a great discussion of how we can change some things by doing simple things. You got to think that throughout this country, many countries have worn masks and veils for centuries, millennials. And now it's a problem with people in the United States to have certain freedoms and say, well, we don't have to do that. We don't have to wear a mask. Go ahead and keep playing. Your man-made militia don't have the authority that United States government militia has, because they're the biggest militia, the army, in the world. They got many people that support them in their actions. Trust me. You to believe that what's happening to individuals race-wise because of the melanin in their skin that's been going on forever, that you're going to stop what's going on by refusing to wear a mask. You're giving them more right to come into your house, knock on your door, and lock you up. Trust me on that one. Start thinking. Let's analyze the situation. Let's look at it from a realistic standpoint. From a realistic standpoint. I want freedoms. Let me follow these rules. And if I don't want to follow rules, I might need to go to another country where they chop your hand off if you don't do what they say. Let's stop acting childish and foolish and reanalyze the situation. Let's play chess if you want to play a game and not checkers. Right now, you're putting yourselves in situations. Great discussion, great debate that I thought was hilarious, that you actually have individuals who believe that the United States government that you gave authority to, the government of municipalities that have the authority that you gave to them, won't come and lock your butt up. No, they're not going to lock me up. I ain't did nothing wrong. I don't have to wear no mask. It's my constitutional right. Whenever you endanger the public's health, that's out the gate, because public health come before anything. Put that mask on. Stop playing with yourself, because all you're doing is opening up that door for martial law. You think they going in downtowns all throughout this country, Denver, Colorado included, with little mini tanks and people that you don't even know who are police officers on accident? Do you believe that you can change the mind by not doing what you're supposed to? If you don't get a permit to march, you're going to have a problem. You just committed an offense. So we want to start thinking about the laws, researching the laws, researching what we can do and what we can't do, and stop just suggesting foolishness in public arenas and putting people's lives in danger. It don't make sense. It's senseless. You know, I don't want nobody to jeopardize my freedoms. I can't go outside because you don't want to wear no mask in 6 months from now. You know, people dying, go from, I think it's 299,000, and you reach 1 million people. Watch what happens. Watch what happens when they get to 1 million people, which is really possibly coming very soon due to COVID. This is a virus that mutates. It's very similar to a cold. A cold mutates into the flu. Do some research. You want to Google and watch porn and play games, use that toy as a tool, and stop acting like fools, please. We got to do something better. You want to make a movement with a thought plan. Plan out what you need to do. Strategize. Get with some people that got some great concepts and know some things of what to do and what not to do, and then we can get somewhere and stop playing. Let's make some change, y'all. Let's make the right change. Thank you. This is not a game. You have right now the chance to change the world because of intellectual prowess. You can get on that tool that you call a toy when you're watching Pornhub and RedTube and all the rest of that stuff. Playing the game, Zombie Wars and Fortnite for 4 hours and 4 days straight, ain't even washing your butt. Get up and do something. Get up and change your mind, your mindset. Get your spirit right and use that toy as what is supposed to be a tool and become successful. I know you're great. I know how powerful you are. I understand that you have the ability to unlock phones. It's people that's older than you don't even understand that. You can get on a phone and unlock it. You can send messages to 5,000 people. I'm giving you right now the ability to change your world financially. That's how you get comfort, by making a change. You don't get comfort by waking up. You don't get economical and financial comfort by waking up and, I'm going to get them, they're going to give me some money. I'm going to get out there and sell something. Let me get high first. It don't work like that. That ain't how that go. If you want to sell some drugs, go get the little god doggone license. You 18, go to school, get the license. You can sell anything you want to legally now. Become a pharmacist or a doctor. You make millions of dollars doing that. Trust me. The cannabis industry is huge. It's $1 billion industry right now. Liquor. You go on a liquor store. What you getting drunk on the corner throwing up for? In your homegirl or homeboy's backyard. Fighting somebody that you mad at because they got on a different color than you. Or because they look better than you in your mind. Come out of your selfishness. Let's wake up. Let's be aware. And let's make some changes. That's the greatness of youth. Youth has time to make changes. You know what the greatness of someone being your senior is? They've lived long enough to give you direction of that guidance, how to give it to you. If you accept it, and you know it's from the heart, you'll be okay. You start resisting somebody trying to allow you to be great. Stop telling them that what they talking about ain't gonna work for you. You'll be all right. If you learn that first and foremost, you can't have game or no game if you don't know how to play the game. You don't know the rules to it. So I'm gonna give it to you. Nothing that was done in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and 90s, or 2000 or 2010 you need to do. Wake up and utilize what's on your hip. You ain't got no money. Everybody got a cell phone. They get cell phones away for free. The government do. If you need something, get on there and figure it out. Write it down. Plan it out. And be what you're supposed to be. Great, magnificent, encouraging, powerful, positive, a blessing from the Father right here on this earth as he is at that in heaven. You are a child of intelligence. Your mother or father that's not around, or your father that's around and your mother ain't around, or the habit that either of them have to influence your direction of greatness. Because you can change that with a thought process and plan. I know you can. I promise you can. I'm tired of turning on the TV, finding out that somebody killed somebody. Young people are getting killed by the police due to the actions of the police officer. We understand that. How do we change that? We start being a community again. Go out and know your neighbor. Nowhere in the world somebody live next door to you don't know who in that house they first or last name, or even their first name. Oh, that's Toto. Well, who the hell is Toto? Toto got shot yesterday. Well, who was Toto? How is it even possible that Toto got shot and you didn't know Toto's real name was Tory? We got to get to that. We got to stop, if possible, because I know y'all can do it. I believe in you. If possible, think different. Think different. Stop trying your best to be like everybody else. Go back to having your own identity. If you never had identity before, let's start today. Let's start right now. How we can change the world by having our own identity, being unique, being a unicorn, being different. Whatever your situation is or scenario is, be that, accomplish that, ride it like a wave, like a surfer would. You don't have to be mad at somebody because they're different than you. You have to be upset because somebody's father take care of them and their mom and your father don't take care of you, or they got on the Air Force Ones and the latest 48 Jordans that's out and all that. Man, that don't mean nothing. What you want to say is when somebody asks you something, I'm gonna give you something. Somebody asks you something, the importance of having a whole lot of money in your pocket means you don't have no money. Joe can tell you what they made last year. That's who you want. That's the person you want to be around. What you make last year? I made 1.XYZ last year, million, or I made 400 something thousand last year. Whatever that is, that's the person you want to be around. Somebody can't say that to you. You don't want to talk to them. You don't even have a discussion with them. They tell you, I got $4,000 on me right now, and I got $5 in the bag at the house. They broke. That's all the money they got. And you about to have a problem. That's the person that's going to be robbing you next week because he's going to be broke. As soon as he mess around and lose some money, he get ready to kill you because you got a job or your own business, and hopefully you got your own business. So I'm not going to hold y'all, man. I just really want to see a difference in the African-American community as it's termed. I'm talking to my Moorish brothers and sisters. I'm talking to the young folks that take the terminology of being black proudly. Okay, that's fine. I need you to reach into yourself. Talk to those that you know acting foolish and try to give them some good sense because they ain't getting it. We got enough stuff to fight against. We don't need to be fighting against each other over argument on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter because that's mostly what the stuff is over. Ain't over because none of y'all ain't got no $1 million. You kill somebody with a 38, you ain't got no million, or 9 million. You got 9 million, you shot somebody, you got no money. You can get them $40 on the street, man. Come on, stop playing. Stop playing. You ain't got no army and no squad. When you're in jail doing 45 years, ain't nobody gonna call you that you knew, but maybe one person. And it ain't gonna be none of them female fellas. It might be one or two of them. You ain't gonna get a whole batch that you had, so that don't make sense. So let's just go to something without figuring it out. Let's stop certain things like nonsense and entitlement, and let's get to truthfulness and influence of positivity. I'm Dr. Lee. It's always a pleasure. I love y'all. This is Focus Media. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
How many more of us have to die? How many more vigils? How many balloons have to be released into the air to let us know that we cannot win this violent game? Every parent cries when one of us dies.
Man, they be wildin' in these streets. Yeah, they be wildin'. Bullets keep on flying in these streets. Yeah, they be flying. Brothers keep on prowling in these streets. They keep on paddling. All we hear is sirens in these streets. You hear the sirens. Mamas keep on crying in these streets. Mamas keep crying. Children keep on dying in these streets. Children keep dying. Really need Messiah in these streets. We need Jesus. We gotta stop the violence in these streets.